One story that The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald are going quite big with tomorrow is obviously the story about Kristina Keneally potentially moving from the Senate and being parachuted into a safe Labor seat into the House of Reps. This was always the case, right?
Yes, of course it is. And look, Keneally's had a pretty good run. She was Premier of New South Wales. She disappeared for a little bit, was on Sky for a while, went into the Senate, and then, of course, you get moved from the Senate into the lower house, and that's when they start looking at giving you, a cabinet portfolio if they win the next election. They start looking at leadership roles, this kind of thing. I mean, you could have seen this coming a mile off. Clearly, that's what they were lining her up to do. There's nothing particularly wrong with doing that. It's how the system works, but, it's hardly as though it's transparent, is it? We knew this was coming.
She does have leadership contention written all over, and it's, I guess, the reason why this has always come about is because she is the most high-profile shadow cabinet minister at this point in time, and she could be replacing retiring MP Chris Hayes in the Western Sydney seat of Fowler in a solution that would keep both her and the right faction colleague Deb O'Neill in federal parliament. So, well played if Keneally can make the jump. She'll be unstoppable, I think, if she gets into the House. It'll be quite an electric place.
Yes, well, I think one of the things that Labor will want to take to the next election is, if not actually having it, at least some level of looking like they have strong female leadership. And if you've got Tanya Plibersek and you've got Kristina Keneally there, you've got a pretty formidable team. And that will be, I think, a large part of their selling, because Albo seems to be a little bit on the nose. They're ahead in the polling. Labor's ahead in the polling, but Albo himself certainly isn't. So being able to take a strong female package to the voting public, I think will form a large part of their campaign.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting to see. A point of difference would be nice. On to the financial review now, and China is curbing steel output. We've heard this in the financial press for the last couple of days, sort of bubbling around, but I guess now this is actually legit. China is stepping up cuts to steel production and ordering mills to reduce output during the winter heating season and ahead of the Winter Olympics in Beijing in February, in measures that could push down the price of Australian iron ore. I think we all sort of knew this was coming, but is this just another sort of kick in the guts from China, Caleb, or is this a legit reasoning to cut the steel output?
I mean, look, it was a bubble that was always going to burst at some point, and really what it looks like China is going to do here is to scale back their production for a while so that they can have some clean air when it comes time for the Winter Olympics. And once that is out of the way, I mean, they will go back to their previous levels of iron production. They really don't have any reason not to. They are a rapidly developing, growing country. They have massive industry, and I can't see that their desire for our iron ore in the long term is going to decrease. They're just going to take a little break so they've got some clean air. I mean, it's a smart move on their behalf. I don't think it's going to hurt Australia in the long run. And at the same time as this is happening, the price of coal is going through the roof. So you might have one natural resource dropping and another one's going up. These are the ebbs and flows that are to be expected of the market. China likes to take a shot at us at the moment, but I don't think this is going to be the one that kills us.
I like your optimism, Mr. Bond, for sure.